Chalo, let's start. Okay. Hi, good evening. First one. Which of the following are the Herzberg's motivational factor? Which are the Herzberg's motivational factors? Job security, working conditions, salary, possibility of growth. No, just I don't know actually, Bhavesha. Just check with them. Check with the admin. I really don't know about this technical parts. Okay. Which one is Herzberg's motivational factor? No, no. Yeah, this is the last part of your module A of this. Not last part actually. Few days are remaining. Good evening. Yeah, we'll be starting module C later. After 2-3 days, we'll be starting module C. We always start with the revision. Okay. How many of you have joined new today? How many of you have joined new today? First batch today. How many of you joined? Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. So remember, those who have joined new, we are right now going on with module A, last part. Okay. Only 2 chapters are remaining. One is LPP and second is simulation. Okay. LPP and simulation. So after covering that, I'll be starting module C. Okay. Yeah. So let's start. This is the revision. Which of the following is a Herzberg's motivational factor? So answer is D. Remember, possibility of growth. These are all known as hygiene factors. Hygiene, right? Herzberg has 2 types of factors. These are hygiene factors, right? These are motivational. Which among the following is false about the ERG theory? ERG. Okay, ERG theory. ERG means what? Existence, relatedness, growth. The theory is based on existence, relatedness, growth. ERG theory was advanced by Clayton Elderfer. Instead of 5 levels, ERG theory has only 2. ERG counters by by noting that whenever higher level need is frustrated or cannot be performed, the individual's desire to increase the lower level need takes place. So which one is wrong about the ERG theory? Wrong. Okay, we want the wrong one. Okay, it is C. It has 3 levels, not 2. What are the 3 levels? See this: existence, relatedness, and growth. So this is wrong. This is false. This is true. It is related to existence, relatedness, and growth. And ERG was advanced by Clayton Elderfer. So this is also true. And this is also true. Whenever somebody can't achieve the higher goals, the person will always settle for the lower goals. Okay. Which method of performance appraisal is used to rate employees by group of appraisers consisting of immediate supervisors and 3 or 4 others who have some knowledge of the performance of the employee? Group appraisal method, grading method, graphic and linear rating skills, and straight ranking method. Which one of them is this called as? Group appraisal. Very good. Group appraisal method. This is known as group appraisal. See here, what I would suggest is follow my YT series, YouTube series. Tomorrow's YouTube. Tomorrow is what? Thursday. So Thursday's YouTube at around 8:30 in the evening. Okay, around 8:30 is there. So there I've covered all these questions along with some other explanations also in this. Okay. So group appraisal method, it's available on YouTube. Okay. What are the advantages of keeping adequate working capital? Solvency of the business, goodwill, easy loans, and all of the above. Advantages of working capital. Answer is correct. Who's this? Sharat. You have given it right. Okay, it is All of the above. All of the above. Okay. Okay, let me answer some questions. What is the study plan? Study plan means, yeah, right now we are in the end of module A. This is the last batch going on, last part of the batch. Okay. Those who have joined new, kindly you can follow these two chapters also, LPP and this next one, this simulation. Okay. Then I'll be going for module C. Okay. And whatever remains means all those who have joined new and not have not completed the A part, that will be done later after we complete this module C. Okay. Yeah. So this batch is going on. This is module A going on right now. Module A last part. Okay. See here, everyone, for final time I am telling you, this is the last class, means last part of module A going on. Okay. Two chapters are remaining, LPP, linear programming, and this simulation. So that will be covering in next 2-3 days, and afterwards we'll be starting with module C. Okay. Now let's stop the questions on first class, second class. Okay, and focus on the topic. Chalo. Next one. According to the lending norms, working capital requirement is to be assessed at dash of the projected turnover to be shared between the borrower and the bank. So here, working capital requirement. How is the working capital requirement done? Always remember, working capital is always given on the basis of working cycle. Okay, working cycle we call it, working cycle. Now this working cycle, whatever you get, okay, from here you get the total working capital required. Working capital you get it from working cycle. Okay, working, one sec. So from here you get working capital, and this working capital is divided into two parts. Working capital, this is a part of your module C. Okay, this is divided into two parts. Okay, first part is bank finance, and second part is margin. Okay, bank finance and margin. So bank finance is 75% and margin is 25% generally. So in this case, the answer will be D, none of the above. So this margin of 25% is always kept. Total working capital finance or total working capital is divided into two parts. Here, turnover to be shared between the borrower and the bank. So bank is sharing 75% and margin customer is sharing 25%. Okay. Chalo, let's start with today's topic, LPP. Okay. One second. Linear programming. See here, this topic is important from the point of view of, look at this. Firstly, we'll be doing the introduction. Introduction means I'll giving you all the theory part. Then you'll be having numericals. You have two types of numericals in this. Okay, one is graphical method and second is simplex method. So simplex method is not asked in the exams. It is not asked. Okay, graphical method is asked in the exams. Because to answer the simplex method, it requires around 5 to 6 pages, one numerical, 5 to 6 pages. And it takes around 20 to 25 minutes to solve one numerical of simplex. That's why you have graphical method. Okay. So let's start. First theory, linear programming. It refers to the several related mathematical techniques that are used to allocate limited resources among the competing demands in an optimal way. So limited resources, competing demands means what? Always here in our life also, in our practical life, daily life also, we always have the salary is limited and your expenses are very huge. Demands are always huge. So basically remember, everywhere and anywhere, the expenses will always expand and eat up the income available. So that's why limited resources for competing demands, and that's why we have to manage the salary or the income in such a way that maximum demands or optimum demands can be achieved. Okay. Under what conditions a linear programming can be formulated? So it can be formulated under, again, theory question. So this question might come to an exam same as given. Under what conditions a LPP can be formed? It can be formulated as all equations are linear. Remember, important one is there cannot be an x square over here. X square, y square, it cannot be there. There can be only y equals to a plus bx. The constraints are known and deterministic. Constant means, now see here, in LPP you will be getting two parts. One is constraints and second is objective. Every LPP has two parts. I'll be showing you now. It has two parts. One is constraints and second is objective. What is the constraint? Constraint means the limited resources. For example, in your practical life also, you have salary that is limited. But objectives are huge. You want to buy a new flat, you want to buy a new car, you want to pay for your education fees of your children. So these are all the objectives. So we have to allocate the limited resources to all these objectives and optimize them. Which one is important? That is to be paid first. Okay. So the constraints are known and deterministic. That is, the probability of occurrence is presumed to be 1. So remember this, the probability of any LPP problem is always 1. Okay. This is not 10. This is 1. Okay. Probability is always 1 in LPP. Keep it clear. Okay. Next one. All the variables should have a non-negative value. So x comma y should always be greater than 0. X comma y is always greater than 0. Decision variables are also divisible. Decision variables means, now I'll show you what are decision variables. There are various terms coming up. So now we'll go to all these terms. First is linear function. A linear function contains terms, each of which is composed of only single continuous variable raised to the power of 1. Raised to the power of 1 means what? The equation is y equals to a plus bx. The equation will be y equals to a plus bx. It will never be a plus bx. It will never be y square equals to something or y equals to a plus bx square. So these two will never happen. Okay, it will never happen. And this will definitely happen. Square will never be there. So raised to the power of 1. Second is objective function. See this. I just now told you there are two parts always in any LPP. LPP has two parts. Linear programming has two parts. One is constraints. Constraints means limitations. And second is objective. Objective. Okay. Objective means what you have to achieve. Achieve. Okay. And this is what is present. Present means all the limitations which are there. So through this you have to go towards this objective. That is the basic logic of LPP. It is a linear function of decision variables expressing the objective of decision maker. The most typical objectives are maximize or minimize. Now what do you mean by this? See here, we are talking of companies over here. Whenever we are talking of companies, what does it mean? Companies means company will have only two objectives. Either it should be cost or other should be profit. Whenever I have to go for a cost objective, what will you try to do? Suppose let's imagine everyone, you are a businessman. All of you are a businessman. You are owning a business, everyone. So in that case, let me ask you, what will you try to do with the cost? Will you try to maximize the cost or will you try to minimize the cost? Will you try to maximize the cost or minimize the cost? Only about the cost I am talking of, right? Cost is minimization, right? That's why your banks are going on for online, right? Why are your banks going for online banking? To minimize the cost, right? What about the profit? Profit should be maximized. Every company plans to maximize their profits, right? So that's why the objectives will be only two. maximize or minimize. Decision variables. Just now we saw that term. Now let's get the explanations. These are economic or physical quantities whose numerical values indicate the solution of the LPP. So solution, okay. So whatever is the solution of LPP means these points will give you the solution, but it won't be the final one. We'll see that. Now, for now, you only remember they provide the solution of LPP. These variables are under control of the decision maker and could have an impact on the solution of the problem under consideration. The relationship among these variables should always be linear. So what are the important points in this definition? Numerical values, solution, under the control of the decision maker, and should be linear. Okay, these are the important points. So what are decision variables? They provide solution to the LPP. Constraints, now limitations. These are arising out of practical limitations. Means whatever, like I give you the example, salary or income, profits in the company, in a business. So that is also constraint. The mathematical form of constraint is fx greater than or equal to b, or fx less than or equal to b, or fx equals to b. Now what do you mean by this? Fx greater than or equal to b means what? Now in exam what will they give you? They'll give you only this part. The mathematical form of the constraints can be. So three options will be given. 1, 2, 3, and fourth option will be all of the above. So the answer will be all of the above. Now what do you mean by this but? Fx greater than or equal to b means what? Okay, let me show you a simple example. So the example can be like this. 2x plus 3y greater than or equal to 5. This is known as b and this is known as fx. Fx, okay? So this is fx greater than or equal to b. Similarly, the other one, 2x plus 3y less than or equal to 5. So this is fx, this is b, and same thing for our last one, equals to b. Okay. So this is the meaning of fx. Okay. Some examples of resource and marketing constraints. Now this is theory part. What are the examples of resource and marketing constraints? Constraints means limitations. Bank may stipulate certain working capital requirements. What do you mean by this? Bank may stipulate certain working capital requirements, means certain requirements. For example, you have to bring a margin of 25%. Your stock level should be this much. Your debtors level should be this much. So that is all given in this. That is all a constraint. Market may not absorb the whole output. Now there's a deep explanation for this. Means what? This LPP, whatever I produce may not be sold. Okay. So if it is not sold, then all my calculations go fail. Okay. So may not absorb the whole output. Capacity constraints, labor availability, raw material availability. So these are the limitations of any while doing any business. See, any business will face these problems only mainly. These 5 problems we face. Okay. Feasible solution. A non-negative solution which satisfies all the constraints is known as a feasible solution. Now what do you mean by this? Satisfies all the constraints. Which are the constraints? Okay, I'll give you an example. Say this. Always remember LPP is like this. LPP always moves like this. One is y-axis, second is x-axis. X and y. Okay. Now if I write the equation, y equals to a plus bx, or y minus b 2y minus plus 3x, or 3x plus 2y, let me write it that way. 3x plus 2y is less than or equal to 5, 10. So if I write this equation, 2x plus 3y, 3x plus 2y less than or equal to 10. This is my line. So what I have to do, this is the equation of line. I have to first solve this line and get the value of y and x. So first I'll have to put y equals to 0. So I get x equals to 10 by 3. So it is 3.33. Here it will be somewhere. See this, I put y equals to 0 first, 0. So what it becomes, 3x less than or equal to 10. So x equals to 10 upon 3, 3.33. Similarly, I put x equals to 0. So what do I get? Y equals to 5, right? 10 upon 2, 5. So it will be over here, 5. Now what do I do? Here I am teaching you what is feasible solution. So what will I do? I'll draw this line now. From this point to this point, I'll draw a straight line. So this straight line, okay, this is my straight line. But this is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to means this region. Less than means always on the left side. So this is known as, this part is known as feasible feasible region. Okay, and these values, these points were the end points of this feasible region. 1, 2, 3. What are the end points of this region? These are the 3 endpoints of this region. So these points are known as feasible points. These are known as feasible points, which satisfy all the constraints, is known as feasible solution. So this is feasible region, these are feasible points, and these 3 points are known as feasible solution together. All the 3 together are called as feasible solution. The region comprising all the feasible solutions is referred to as feasible region. Okay? Clear everyone? See here, now you just remember it. You can, I think so, you can't see it. Yeah, say this part. Okay? Next one. We'll solve the numericals, then you'll understand it better. Visual representation. Now this comes as a theory part, and mind it, be sure about it, be very much sure about it, that you'll get around 2 questions from this topic. This topic, only visual representation, you'll get 2 questions. There are only 5 cases, and out of those 5 cases, you get 2 cases. Now I'll tell you what do you get in exam, exactly what do you get. Okay? So visual representation means showing this in the figure format. Let's see one by one. There are total 5 solutions. What are those 5 solutions? Unique finite solution. Here. Unique finite solution. Unbounded solution. Third one is multiple solutions. Fourth is infeasible solution. And last one is point solution. Unique feasible point. Okay, these are the 5 solutions available in LPP in visual representation. Now these, you'll say it's very difficult to remember. It's not difficult. Whenever I'll show you the images, then it's easy. Let's see one by one. Unique finite solution. First one, unique finite solution means what? What did I tell you? Feasible region means what? Feasible region means these lines which I draw. See here, at that time I showed you just one line, this line. Okay? Now there can be many other types of lines also. Look at this. Here, this is X, this is Y, and I'm having 2, 3 lines. One line is this, one line is this, third line is this. Okay? So these are the 3 lines. All are less than, less than, less than. So this common area, which is common to all these lines, 1, 2, 3. This area is known as what? What is this area called as? This area, which is common to all the lines, that is called as, everyone? Feasible region. Very good. This is known as feasible region. Remember this by heart. This is known as feasible region. Okay? And now let me ask you again in this. So this is feasible region. Okay, I'll write it over here. Feasible region. F region, I'll write it. F region. Okay? What is this point called as? This point. 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. These points singly, see here, each one individually. Individually these points, how many points are there? There are 5 points over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means it is covering this full area. So this point individually is called as F point, feasible point. Each point individually, feasible points, and together all these points together they are called as feasible together. Together they are called as feasible solution. Very good. Together they are called as F solution. Solution. Okay? Got it? Now the question is, what are we have come to this point again, this part. Okay? So here, unique finite solution. What do you mean by this unique finite solution? It means that, see here, whenever we solve these points, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, and 5 point, what do we do? Our objective function, this dark line which you are seeing, dark line, this one, this is called as Z function, or also called as objective function. See here, in this image itself, you are able to see all the things. These are constraints. These lines which you are seeing, these lines, these are all constraints. Okay? So these lines are constraints, and this point, dark line, is known as objective. So that's why, what did we say earlier? LPP consists of two parts. One is constraints, these lines, and second one is objective. So what you have to do, you have to check this objective on each and every point. This point, this point, this point, this point, and this last point. So 5 points you'll check, and you'll check what is the required answer. When we solve the numerical, you'll understand this. We'll have to check this on each of the points, and wherever I get the best answer, suppose if I want to maximize the profit, maximize, wherever I get the maximum answer is my required solution. Okay? So now look at this. Here it means that unique finite solution. It means that there is only one solution available. It can't be on all the points. I can't get the answer. I'll get the answer only on one point. So the above example over here, unique finite solution. In such cases, optimum value occurs at the extreme point or vertex of the feasible region. Extreme point, see here, this point. It will always occur at extreme point, this point. Okay? Mainly extreme point only it occurs. So it can be this extreme or this extreme also. Any of these two it can occur. So when we solve the numerical, you'll get this. But in exam, what will they ask you? What will be the question in exam? The question in exam will be, they'll show you this image, and they'll ask you, this is an example of what? So they'll be giving you 5 answers, 4 answers. Unique finite, infeasible, infinite, whatever answer they'll be giving you. So you have to choose this unique finite. Okay? Second one is this unbounded. Unbounded means what? Now look at this. This line is a constraint, this line. And this line is also a constraint. Look at this, my arrow. Okay, this line is also a constraint. So this constraint, check this. Will they ever meet somewhere? These constraints, if I go on the right side, here, always remember LPP works only in the first quadrant. LPP never works in the second, third, and fourth quadrant. It never works. Okay, so LPP is of no use in second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. There are total 4 quadrants. Okay, in your school life you might have studied 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? 4 quadrants are there. So LPP always works in this first quadrant only. These are of no use for LPP. Okay, so that's why even if these lines meet, these two lines, even if these two lines meet, besides, if I go take them below, they meet, but they are of no use to us. We only want in the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant, are they meeting anywhere? No, they are expanding. Okay, whenever they are expanding, it means it is unbounded solutions. You can't get the answer for this. It will go on and on and on, infinite. If the feasible region is not bounded, it is possible that the value of the objective function goes on increasing without leaving the feasible space. So this objective function, it will go on increasing till infinity. Okay, so this is known as unbounded solution. Third one, multiple solutions. Means what? whenever the objective function is parallel to any line, keep it very simple. This objective function, if it is parallel to any of the lines, any line, not only this, now in this figure it is shown as these two lines, but if it is parallel to any of the lines, then we have infinite solutions. If z line is parallel to any side of the feasible region, all the points lying on that side are known as optimal solutions. So these, whenever you have these optimal solutions, means any objective function parallel to the constraint line, it is always known as infinite solutions. Infeasible solution. Infeasible means what? Look at this. Now this region, feasible region, look at this region. This is one constraint, this is another constraint. Okay? But this constraint is not matching. There is no common area. See, the dark area is on the left side over here, left side over here, and the dark area is on the right side over here. Is there a common area for these two lines? No. So whenever, sometimes the set of constraints do not have a feasible region, so they don't have a common area due to inconsistency in the constraints. When such thing occurs, when they don't have a common area, this is known as infeasible solution, means solution not possible. It is known as infeasible solution. Okay? Yeah. No, any point, Shagun Sharma, any point can be the point cannot be on Z line. Any point can be on Z line. Okay, when we'll solve the numericals, you'll get it. Any point can be there on the Z line. You have to search the Z line on all the points. So when next, I think so we'll be solving the numerical now only after this. Unique feasible point. Now this is a typical question which is asked in exam. Unique feasible point means this situation arises when the feasible region consists of a single point. So answer is only a single point. The situation may occur when the number of constraints is at least equal to the number of decision variables. So constraints is equal to decision variables at least. In this case, no optimization is required as there is only one solution. Now what do you mean by this point? This point means, look at this. Now look at this line. Everyone pay attention. See, this constraint is given as this line. Now if my constraint is given such that this line comes on left side and it goes on passing through this point. If this line is passing through this point, okay, instead of this, so I won't have any area because this area will go on minimizing. As I start shifting this line, my area will go on minimizing, and at this point there will be zero area. So this point where all the constraints meet at a single point, look at this figure, all the constraint, this constraint, this constraint, this constraint, and this constraint. There are three constraints over here. This dark line inside, this dark line on this side, and this dark line over here. They are meeting at a single point. So whenever they meet at a single point, this is known as unique feasible point. Okay. So these are the 5 cases which are asked in the exam. Kindly follow the images and the name. You have to remember only the image and the name. They'll give you the image and ask you the name, or reverse way can also be done. They'll give you the name and then they'll give you 4 images and you'll have to choose between them. Okay. Now let's solve a numerical. Let me solve some simple numerical first instead of going for a tougher one. Here, let's solve one simple, then I'll go for the tougher one. Let me solve one simple one. Let me take one blank page. Take this. See here. We'll solve a LPP problem. Simple one, LPP. Let's solve one very simple problem first. We'll have two parts. One is constraints. Now everyone pay attention. Okay? Those who have confusion on that objective function, pay attention. Constraints, and second is objective. Two things will be there in LPP, constraints and objective. Okay? So let's write two constraints. Two lines are given to you. Let's say 2x plus 3y is less than or equal to 6. Second, x plus 4y is less than or equal to 8. Okay, these are the two constraints. And objective function is profit. Profit z equals to 5x plus y. This is your objective function. So such thing might be given to you in exam, and you have to solve the LPP now. Now how do you solve it? First, always focus on the constraints. Okay, where more than one solution is found. Yeah, it is there now. 7. Is there any diagram where more than one solution is found? There is a diagram. That is known as infinite solution. That second one which we saw. When the one objective function is parallel to one of the lines, there you have more than one solution. Okay? Parallel. Always remember. So now focus on this. How to solve this? First, focus on the objective function. So what you have to do? Take this graph. Take this graph line. This is y-axis and this is x-axis. X and y. Okay. Now you have to plot these two lines on this graph. These two lines. So for that, what you do? First, take line number 1. Remove this less than or equal to. Make it directly equal to. Okay. So your equation 1 will be what? 2x plus 3y equals to 6. Similarly, second one, x plus 4y equals to 8. Okay, remove this less than or equal to for time being, for solving this. Next is what? First, plot this line, 2x plus 3y. Okay, this line we'll plot it first. What do you do? Put y equals to 0. In both of these, you have to first step is put y equals to 0. And then x equals to 0, and then plot the lines in both the cases, both this and this. So first put y equals to 0 in this. So if I put y equals to 0 in line number 1, okay, this is line number 1, this is line number 2. If I put y equals to 0 in line number 1, so what do I get? 2x equals to 6. 2x equals to 6. So x equals to what? 3, right? So plot this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will plot this. Okay. Similarly over here we'll take up to, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 will take it. Okay. So now put y equals to 0. So 2x equals to 6. So x equals to what? 6 upon 2. That is 3. So my x over here is 3. Look at this. This 3. This is point number 1. Okay, for 2x plus 3y less than or equal to 6 or equal to 6, directly take it. So what did I do? Put y equals to 0 over here. Now next part is put x equals to 0. So 3y equals to 6. So y equals to what? 2. So my y will be over here, 2. So now I can plot this line. Why? Because for plotting any line, I require 2 points, right? And both these 2 points I've got it. So what will I do? I'll plot this line. This drawing is always a difficult part. Okay. So I'll plot this line like this. From here I'll take it directly to this, to this. Okay. So what is this line called as? 2x plus 3y. 2x plus 3y equals to 6 or less than or equal to 6. Here you want less than. Less than, here what is given in the question? Less than. So solve this less than, this area. Less than means left side. So one line you have got it. Now second line, put y equals to 0. So x equals to 8. My god, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. No, this side. Y equals to 0. So x equals to 8. So it will be somewhere over here. If I draw it like this, okay, 3 plus 3 6 7 and 8. So here I'll get this x point for line number 2. Okay, x point for line number 2. Second, what do I do? Put x equals to 0. So y equals to what? For 8 upon 4, that is 2. So y I've got it again 2 over here. So what is my line? Suppose if I plot this second line with blue color. So what will be my line? See this, it will be like this. It will start from here and it will go like this, and it will match this line. Okay. So this is the common area now. Look at this. This is my common area for this. Okay. So now you guys tell me, what is the common area for both these two lines? What is the common area for both these two lines? Common area. Which area is common for these two lines? Only this area. Which one? This first line. This area is common for these two lines. Okay. So this becomes my feasible region. So what do I do now? This is my common area, means this is my line. Okay. Now what do I do? I'll find these points. What is this point called as? This point is called as 0 0, origin. What is the coordinates of this point? This coordinates of this point are x equals to 3 and y equals to 0. What are the coordinates of this point? This coordinate geometry, you know, no? School level. So this is x equals to 0 and y equals to 2. Everyone got this? The coordinates of this are x. Here on x-axis always y is equal to 0. So y will be 0. On y-axis x will always be 0. So your point is 0 2, 3 0 and 0 0. So these are my feasible points. Why? Because these are common to both the areas. To this area also and this area also. Okay, so common area is this. Okay. So now, where will I get the maximum? See, where is my objective function? What will I do now? I'll draw the table. Look at this table now. Now what will I do? This. What are my points? See here, 2 points I'm having. X and y. What is the value of x over here on the first point? Let's take this point as A. This point as O. Because O is also always called as origin, and this point as B. So I'll write these points O, A and B. Okay. Now what? What is the value of x? On O point, 0 0. What is the value of x on A point? 0 2. Here 3 0. Right. Now next, what is my value of z? See this, z equals to 5x plus y. Okay. Now start solving this. Put the value of x and y. So z equals to 0 over here. 5 into 0 plus 0. Here z equals to 5 into x is what? 0 plus y is what? 2. So answer will be 2. Here z equals to 5 into 3, 15 plus 0. So answer will be 15 over here. Everyone got this? Value of z, 0, 2 and 15. Got it? So now what is my aim? See here, what is given? Profit. So if profit is my objective, what should I take? Should I take minimum or should I take maximum? If my aim is profit, so what should I take? Minimum or maximum? Yeah. Correct. I'll take maximum. So which point I'm getting maximum? This is my answer. So my z value is maximum at point number 3, 0. So this is my optimum solution. 3, 0 is my optimum solution. So what do I do? What do I mean by this? See, I had shown you that line. Dark line. So actually what does it mean? When I'm taking the Z value on all these 3 points, it means that I'm taking this Z point, let me mark it in some different color, black. Okay. So this is my Z function. Look at this. I'm taking this Z over here, Z. Okay. Then I'm taking this Z over here. This line I'm moving from these 3 points. Then I'm moving to this point also. Then I'm moving to this point, Z line. All these 3 points I'm moving Z. And then I'm checking where do I get the maximum value. So here I'm getting the maximum value. So this becomes my optimum solution, right? This way this numerical is solved. Okay, got it? So who had this doubt? Someone, I think so, had got this doubt. That about where do I get some optimum solution? Can we move it on other point? That's what somebody had asked me. Okay, so this way you can solve this. Remember, okay? Now let's solve one difficult problem. We have 10 minutes. We can solve this difficult problem. See here. Each radio cost 500 rupees in wages and 500 in materials. Everyone pay attention. Very important case study. Each radio costs 500 in wages and 500 in materials. So a company is manufacturing, let's say, 2 parts. Okay, one is radio, okay, and second is television. Okay, so this company is manufacturing 2 things. One is radio, second is television. Each radio is costing rupees 500 in wages and 500 in material. So what does it mean? Total cost is what? Wages plus material. So total cost is 1000. Okay. Similarly for television, each television is costing 2500 in wages and 1500 in material. So what is my total cost? 4000. Right. So this is my cost. Okay. This is my cost. Focus on this. Huh? What is the total cost of radio now? 1000. What is the total cost of TV? 4000. Okay. The firm pays labor and the material expenses in cash. So this is a general statement. It has to be paid in cash. The price of the radio is 2000 and the price of the television is 6000. Now immediately something should strike your mind. What should strike your mind? See here, price of the radio is 2000, means selling price. Selling price is 2000. So what is my profit then? Selling price is 2000. Cost price is 1000. So what is my profit? 2000 minus 1000. So one radio will give me the profit of 1000. Similarly for TV, what is my selling price? 6000. What is my cost price? 4000. So what is my profit? 2000. So one television will give me a profit of 2000. Clear up till now? As per the strong demand, though all the materials are sold. Oh, so that's okay. All the units are sold. It's of no use. Okay, this line is of no use to you. That's why I've crossed it. The firm gives one credit period to the consumers. This is also of no use. Means this is a waste line. It's of no use to you while solving the problem. The firm has 10 hours of machine time and 4 hours of assembly time per day. Now what do you mean by this? 10 hours of machine time means there is a machine which produces both TV and radio. Same machine which produces TV and radio. That machine can work for total 10 hours in one day. 10 hours. It can't work for more than 10 hours. Similarly, assembly line. Assembly line means that belt system. Okay. Assembly means, have you seen this assembly line? Anyone? What is this assembly line? While making any car, you see that car line. There's a belt going on. On that belt, the parts are kept and it goes to the next level. That is called as assembly line. Okay. So 1 hour of, this is 4 hours of assembly time. Okay. Now look at this. This machine can work for 10 hours. Now in 10 hours, I have to produce TV and radio both. Similarly, this assembly can work for 4 hours. So in 4 hours, I have to produce TV and radio both. So this assembly and machine time is common for both radio and television. This is the total which it can work. Now what about each element? Look at this. Production of radio requires 3 hours of machine time and 1 hour of assembly time. Now look at this. One radio requires 3 hours. One TV requires 1 hour of assembly time. Here, 3 hours of machine time and 1 hour of assembly time for radio. Similarly for TV, 1 hour of machine time and 1 hour of assembly time. Okay. So TV equals to 1 plus 1. Radio equals to 3 plus 1. Okay. The firm has 12,000 rupees in cash. So this firm is having 12,000 in cash. Looking at the constraints, how many radios and TVs should the firm produce to maximize their profits? So our target is maximizing the profit. Okay. So how to solve this? So let's say this firm produces X radios and Y televisions. X radio, Y television. Okay. The firm produces X radio, Y television. Now let's solve these equations. Profit on one radio equals to what? 1000. We have got it. Profit on one radio, 1000. Profit on one television, 2000. But this firm is producing how many radios? X. So what is the total profit? So one radio is 1000. So X radios will be X into R. So 1000 into X. So profit on radios is 1000X. What is the profit on television? 2000 into Y. So what is my total profit? My total profit is radio plus television. So 1000X plus 2000Y. This is my objective function. This is what I require because that is my profit point. So this I have to maximize. Clear this part? Now let's look at the machine time part. Machine time. Okay. What is the machine time part? What is it given? Each radio requires how many hours of machine time? 3 hours. How many hours of assembly time? 1 hour. Look at this. 3 hours over here and 1 hour over here. Machine assembly. One radio requires 3 hours and 1 hour of assembly. So if one radio requires 3 hours and one radio requires 1 hour of assembly, now X radios will require how much? 3X and 1X. Right? 3X and 1X. Got it? So this is my machine time for machine and assembly time for radio. Similarly now television. Y televisions, Y TVs. So TV require how much? 1 hour of machine time, 1 hour of assembly time. So 1Y, 1 into Y, 1 into Y. Okay. So now I get this. So what is the question given? In question it is given that the machine can work for 10 hours only. So if this machine can work for 10 hours only, it means what? My 3X machine time for radio plus 1Y machine time for television, this should not be more than 10 hours per day because this machine can't work for more than 10 hours. So my line is what? 3X plus 1Y less than or equal to 10. This is my constraint for machine. Similarly, assembly. 1X plus 1Y should be less than or equal to 4. Right? So this is my machine time, assembly time constraint. So these are my constraints. And something more is given, cash. What is it given? The firm is having 12,000 rupees as cash. 12,000 as a cash balance. Okay. So if this is 12,000 as a cash balance, so this cash it has to pay to labor and material. See this, labor and material are paid in cash. So this it has to pay in labor and material. So what is the cost now? The cost for television is, radio is 500 plus 500 both. So total 1,000 rupees for one radio. So total X radios means 1,000 into X. Similarly, 4,000 is the cost for one TV into Y. So my total cost is 1,000 into X plus 4,000 into Y. This is my total cost. But right now I'm having how many rupees? Only 12,000. So my total expenses for this should not be more than 12,000. Got it? This is a constraint equation. This is how you have to write the constraints. Okay? Problems will be given to you like that. That will have to solve the constraints. And many a times in exam, Your problem ends over here, ends. You don't have to solve it further. Your problem ends over here. They'll only ask you to find a constant equation for machine, constant equation for assembly, constant equation for cost, objective function for profit, and something more they'll ask you. Okay? So basically, this is here your problem generally ends in the exam. But if you have to solve this, then what? Now what is this? You have got these constant equations. How many constants are there now? Can anyone tell me how many constant equations are there in this total now? Okay, how many constant equations are there? Three, very good. Three constant equations. Okay, yes, three. Now, yeah, who has asked? Bhavesh, repeat the cost part again. See this cost part. How did this cost part come over here? Yeah, cost part should be less than 12,000. How? How cost part is less than 12,000? See this. What is given? What is given? What is the total cost of one radio? Total cost of one radio, 1000. What is the total cost of X radios? 1000X. Okay. So this 1000, how did this 1000 come? 1000 is from this wages and material. Okay. Both together. 1000 over here. Similarly, wages and material, TV, together over here. But this is for one radio and one television. I am producing how much? X radios and Y television. So my total cost will be what? 1000 into X for radio, 2000 into Y for TV. So what will be my total cost now? Total cost, because I am the owner of the company. For me, both are same. So my total cost will be what? 1000 into X plus 2000 into Y. This will be my total cost. So if this is my total cost, what am I saying? I am paying this labor and material complete cost in cash. So if I am paying it in cash, I need cash. So what is the cash? Cash available is 12,000. So in any case, let me produce any television, any radio in one day. I can't have it more than 12,000 rupees. So this is my constant of costing now, isn't it? Got it, Bhavesh? So this is my constant of costing. Got it, everyone? Dipti, got it? You had this question, na cost. Clear? Now, let's solve this. Here, let's write it in a simple this mathematical format. 3x plus 1y is less than or equal to 10. 1x plus 1y is less than or equal to 4. And 1000x, remove these zeros. So 1x plus 4y is less than or equal to 12. Right? If you remove these zeros, you'll get it this way. Look at this. 3x plus y less than or equal to 10. X plus y less than or equal to 4. X plus 4y less than or equal to 12. And your z is what? Z means this. Objective. 1000x plus 2000y. This, here you can't remove the zeros. That you have to keep it as it is. Now next what? Draw the lines. 3x plus y less than or equal to 10. Put x, y equals to 0, you will get x. So now look at this. This I have solved it over here. 3x plus y less than or equal to 10. Okay. So 3x put, here I might have solved it somewhere. Say this 0. Okay. Put y equals to 0, you get x equals to 10 upon 3. So 3.33. This will be the point. Look at this. Everyone pay attention. 3.33. Similarly, put x equals to 0, you will get y equals to 10. See this, it will go above. Above somewhere. We don't need that line. Okay. So it will go like this. This will be the line. This one. Okay. Next one. X plus y less than or equal to 4. Put y equals to 0, x equals to 4. See this point over here. Put x equals to 0, y equals to 4. So this point over here. So this line becomes from 4 to this 4. So this is x plus y equals to 4. Are you able to see this? See this, x plus y equals to 4. This is your line. Now third line. What is that? X plus 4y less than or equal to 12. So put y equals to 0, x equals to 12. So this x equals to 12 means it will go from here. Somewhere long it will go. We don't need that point. Put x equals to 0, x equals to 0. So you get y equals to 3. So this point is over here. So you draw this line from 3 to 12. Look at this line, x plus 4y equals to 12. So 3 to 12, this much is the line. Now look at this. You have got all the three lines, all the three constraints. Now look at it, where do they cut each other? See, this line is over here, this line is over here, and this line is over here. So what is the common area now for all these three lines? All are less than, look at this, all are less than, less than, less than. Okay? So when all are less than, your area, common area will be this. See this one, up to this point only, like this. Okay? So what are the points now? O, this is origin. Then this point, some name we'll give it. Okay, I think so. B. Okay, this point is B. Then C. Then D. Then E. And again we come back to O. Okay, here I have written it A. So you can write it A also. Actually, it should be written as O. Okay, so O, B, C, D, E, and O. See here, again we have to come back to O. Okay. Do you have a next class? 10 p.m. Do you have a next class 10 p.m. everyone? Do you have any class at 10 p.m.? Okay, then we'll wait. We'll stop over here. All of you are having a next class now at 10 p.m. Okay. Okay, then yes. Okay, we'll stop now. We'll do this tomorrow. Okay. Chalo, we'll do this tomorrow. Okay. Chalo, bye. Tomorrow we'll continue with the same topic. Okay. Tomorrow it will end, I think so. This topic. Good night. Don't forget to give the ratings at the end. Ratings are very important. Chalo, bye.